What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Goldgell Getaways Travel Podcast. My name is Josh, and every week I'm joined by my good friend Matt. Matt, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Josh? TGIF.
TGIF. Yeah, it's I don't know. Has it been a cold spell for everybody? Because it certainly felt very cold here in Florida this past week.
Oh, remember the Northeast got hit with some snow this week, so
yeah, it looked like some people may have gotten like 2 feet of snow, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to the podcast tonight. We are actually live streaming to not only the Goldgell Getaways podcast, but we're also live streaming to the WDW Couple channel. And so welcome if you're joining us from there. And if it's your first time, hello. If you guys don't know who we are, Goldgell Getaways is a travel planner. So we can help you guys plan wherever you really need to go. We are an authorized Disney vacation planner, and I need to make sure that I say that properly. So if you're looking to come to Disney, we definitely know what we're doing, but we also have agents who have been literally pretty much everywhere. So, you know, as things start to reopen, whether you're looking to do something down in the Caribbean or maybe something over in Europe or even going over to Asia, we do have somebody who can help you start your planning now. And, you know, it's really a great time to actually start planning because, you know, you have the time to kind of get into the rhythm of maybe putting in some payments on your trip, or I don't know, just doing a lot of different types of planning for excursions, all kinds of different stuff. So this week, it's not just Matt and I. We are joined by a couple of other agents. We have the Levines. How you guys doing?
Hi guys, we're doing well. A little cold up here, but we're good.
A little bit. If you guys want, just give everybody a little quick brief overview of who you guys are, and yeah.
So I'm Ryan Levine. This is my wife, Nikki Levine. We are partners in our travel planning, the Levines, by Goldgell Getaways. And we are located in Springfield, Massachusetts, birthplace of basketball and Dr. Seuss. And we have been with the Goldgell Getaways team for about 2 years. We love Disney, all things Disney. We've been a handful of times as a couple and then individuals before we were together. And we're very excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for being here tonight. We have a pretty good episode. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite attractions at Walt Disney World. So with that, we'll move on to our sponsorship, and each and every week, the Goldgell Getaways podcast is sponsored by Chef Adam. He is actually here tonight, so I will bring him on. Adam, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Waiting for some more sunshine.
Good. Yes.
Got your hands now.
Oh,
yeah.
Hi,
those
Pam.
Pam's hands.
Yeah, Adam, so why don't you tell us a little bit about cooking classes?
Yeah, sure. So what we do, every week we do a different kind of cooking classes and all different kind of food, from French food, Italian food, Spanish food, all American food, barbecue, deli, Jewish food. We teach classes online. They're really a lot of fun. They go live, and what we do is we send you the ingredients and we cook together. We go through the recipe from beginning to end together. I cook in real time with you, and at the end of the night, you end up with a dish. So we've been doing it about 4 months. It really seems to be a lot of fun. And born out of that has been this copycat theme cuisine that we put together to do with all our friends that are missing the parks. And we put together a series of 5 or 6 classes that are copycats of items that you want to eat in the parks, things you eat in Disney. So basically, that's what we put together, and it's been a lot of fun. And this week we are doing in this park. What park is it in this film? It's a Magic Kingdom, and we are making the sweet and savory chicken tender waffle sandwich. And is there an official name for that sandwich? I don't even remember.
I think the official name is just
the
I think the official name is just the sweet and spicy chicken sandwich.
Well, that's
Crosshair has
nutritional,
anything
that's
more specific
exactly
than that.
You know, the cool thing about the cooking classes is while you're going to end up with a product that's very similar to the parks, could even be a little better because you're making it in your house, fresh ingredients. Everything is right there. You're making it, and I'm going to teach you how to do stuff that maybe you never did before. For example, if you have kids, I'm going to teach you how to make the world's perfect chicken tender from scratch with raw chicken. You'll get, and it's not too late, by the way, to get the ingredients. There should be a link in this, right, Josh? And then later the ingredients. If they
Yes.
want to learn, they
yes,
can
yes. So
where they can buy a class for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. So we're going to teach how to make that sauce. We're going to teach you how to make coleslaw from scratch. We're going to teach you how to make waffles from scratch. So it's going to be, plus we're going to do a Nutella and fruit waffle as well. So you learn how to make all those things. It's perfect timing. You can learn how to make it. You can eat it tomorrow night with us, or you can eat it on Super Bowl Sunday, like. And then that's the class. So it takes about an hour. It's out of we cook along. Josh, you cooking with us tomorrow night? Or are you going to be watching?
Oh, I will be there, and I will be cooking. I'm super excited, guys. I just want to
be there cooking.
Yeah. I just want to say that last week was the first episode that we did together, and I had an absolute blast. I was a little nervous at first, to be honest, especially doing it for a live audience. But it turned out really, really well. And the cheeseburger egg rolls that we made, I will never purchase cheeseburger egg rolls from inside Magic Kingdom ever again, because I know that I can go home and make something that's so much better, and I expect to have the same result for tomorrow night. And spicy, or the sweet and savory, or the sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich from Sleepy Hollow, I know is by far some of people's favorite snack or quick lunch that you can have. So it's good.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Yep. It'll certainly be awesome. And if you can't join us this week, next week we're going to be making the cheddar cheese soup and croque monsieur, theme park favorite. That people love that sandwich. So we plan to make that. And that's available actually in a couple of places in the park. We ate it together the other day at the Polynesian, right? There was a croque monsieur, the Riviera, I'm sorry. That was great. And mine's going to be very similar to that. That's the following week. Plus, the cheddar cheese soup is a Canadian favorite, even though we are can no longer go into Canada, but we can eat their food. So, and on and on and on. And we have a whole series of different classes, theme park classes, and other classes. So, like that. So, hope you guys could join us.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Adam, for coming on. It's good talking to you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. See you all.
Right.
Same here. Okay. Enjoy.
All right. So, I don't know that I've said this every podcast, but this is a new podcast for us, and it's something that we will technically have. Well, we will sometimes have technical difficulties with it. So, and I don't know if you could tell, but we were just having a few issues there with the audio and stuff. So, but yeah, so stick with us. Tonight's going to be a good episode. Levine's, anytime that while we're going through the news, you guys want to chime in, add something, please feel free to do so. So with that being said, we will move on. I almost skipped right to the news. Let's talk about some group cruises that we are planning right now. So probably the biggest news for us, Taylor and I personally, which is very detrimental, but it was for the best because now there's really no cruising coming from Canada or going up into Canada, is our 7-night Alaskan group cruise, which was planned for July of this year. We have officially moved it to 2022. So if you have never gotten to see Alaska, you're planning to see Alaska, you want to see Alaska, this is going to be a great time to do it. We're going to have a blast. I don't know why I embarrass myself every single week.
Do it. Show the video.
It's, quick little clips from the group cruise that we had this, I almost want to say this past January of 2020. There's the group, and then this was us doing some silent disco dancing. You're going to see my amazing moves in just a second. I don't remember what song was playing, so don't ask. But it was a lot of fun. And, you know, yeah.
It just
Laugh
makes me
it up,
laugh.
everybody. Laugh it up.
It's entertaining, Josh. You're having fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's what cruising's all about.
Right. I mean, that's, you know, I try. So we're going to be doing some, I don't know, what are we, dance-offs? Yeah, sure. We can do some dance-offs. I'll lose. I'll watch from the sidelines.
Battles. You got to battle each other.
Oh, yes, battles, yeah. We're going to be planning some different excursions. And this cruise is actually going up into one of the glaciers, so it's a perfect opportunity to really be able to see a lot of Alaska and even parts of Canada as we make our way up there from Seattle. So if you're interested, I believe that we have fixed the email. You can send an email to events@goldgellgetaways.com with the title, what do we title it? Alaska Group Cruise 2020, something like that. Alaska 2021, sorry.
2022.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah. What year is it? I forget.
Yeah. It's all blends together now.
Oh man. Yeah. So with that being said, Matt, we've got some good news, huh?
Yeah, we got some group cruise announcements. Got official word from Pam that we're going to try to do another group cruise on February 19th, 2022. 7-night Royal Caribbean on the Symphony of the Seas, leaving out of Miami, with stops at Perfect Day Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, Antigua, and St. Thomas. For anybody interested in that one, same thing, events@goldgellgetaways.com. And in the subject title, let's go with something fun. Welcome to Miami. Like the Will Smith song.
Yeah, there you go. Have you guys been to Miami before?
No.
Anybody?
No, not yet.
We may have to come.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I heard that they have some great food and great drinks.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much to see and do in Miami. I mean, you could make you could really extend your cruise. I would always suggest doing it on the front end so that your cruise is nice and relaxing on the back end and then head home. But there's a lot to do that you can add on if you wanted to down in Miami. So cool. Matt, am I missing anything? We can move on into the news. All righty. All right, so as far as news goes this week, I don't know that it was really another packed full week of news, but we'll move right into some of the Walt Disney World stuff. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, so Walt Disney World came out with some new requirements for the masks, especially we'll call them face coverings. It's a little bit better. Even if you've taken the COVID vaccine, which consists of obviously the both shots, you're still going to be required to wear a mask. Everything's going to stay in place as is with Disney. The only addition they've added is they're going to accept clear vinyl for vision of the mouth on masks. What that's going to do is really help the hearing impaired be able to lip read. I think that's a great step to help guests to be equal, especially in the parks. And yeah, that's it really on that one. I think that's going to help a lot of guests. And then also the one that came out, I want to say it was Wednesday afternoon, is Disney's asking all groups of 10 plus people to kind of split up a little bit into smaller groups in your own party, especially in the queues, when you're at dining locations, just to help with better social distance. I know I've seen it when I was down the parks. Like, you got a family of 10 trying to stay on that line. They're really not 6 feet. They're standing right next to you. They might as well just be a part of your party.
And you know, I've actually already started to see this. Cast members have been saying this while you're on queue lines. If you're in a group of 10, they will be splitting you up. And if you're going into a queue line, say something like Rise of the Resistance, where you're all kind of together as you enter, they were asking you to split up. They're not necessarily really enforcing it here. It's kind of just like on a Good Samaritan basis here that you kind of do as they ask. I know for us, anytime that we are in line with somebody or we're in line and there's a huge group in front of us, we usually just give them another marker so that, if they don't want to feel so bunched together, they have more space to spread out, and we still give them, that 6 foot spacing in front of us. So it makes sense. I think, they're just trying to do the best that they can. So.
Right. And the thing with dining reservations, so like Josh, when we had that nice dinner at Blue Zoo in December, I had to go a different route to get a reservation for 10 plus. They weren't, most places aren't even accepting anything more than 10 plus. So breaking them up into smaller groups is just going to help. And then if you want to sit near each other, just let the reservation system know, or when you show up to the restaurant, that you'd like to sit next to the other party.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, we've got some news for Flower and Garden Festival this year. It's coming March 3rd to Epcot, and it's running till July 5th. So this is going to be the first year that we basically have a festival running at Epcot literally almost year long. There will obviously be a few dates here and there in between some of these festivals where it's not running, but you're going to be able to see all those things Topiary's full Disney character. You explore both garden and outdoor kitchens. There's going to be 20 garden and 20 kitchens available to explore. Entertainment all around the festival, of course, which is always great. And looks like there will still be some family fun activities like quests to find the busiest honeybee or the buzziest honeybee, and an extravaganza scavenger hunt, which is something that they do usually every single year. And that's going to be for Easter, and they're going to kind of run that from looks like March 19th through April 4th. So this is my absolute favorite festival at Epcot's. I love seeing all the flowers. It just feels like the rejuvenation to a new year. I did not actually get to read the entire article that Disney put out. Matt, did you see anything in there about my precious, dear to my heart, Butterfly Garden?
I did not. I did not. Maybe they're saving that for a surprise just for you on day one when you go.
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, the way it's always been in the past, it's a not necessarily like an indoor area, but it is netted off, right? So the butterflies can't fly away and they keep them in there. But people get pretty crowded in there, Butterflies, they're a pretty big attraction. So it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing there. I'll be so sad if it's not there.
And the good thing, Josh, too, is for Ryan and Nikki, I was talking to Nikki before we went on. They're going to be down there during that time frame, right? So you guys are going to get to experience that. It's going to be a great time.
I totally agree. Flower and Garden is hands down my favorite festival. So I'm really excited. I'll be bummed if there's no Butterfly Garden also.
Well, the other thing that they haven't mentioned yet is the Garden Graze, I think. I'm not sure that they have officially announced that that's going to be coming back as well. If you don't know what the Garden Graze is, it's something that I do for all of the festivals now since they started it with the cookie stroll. Was a couple years ago now. But it's basically this at the back of the book. You can kind of go to different food booth, kitchen booths, whatever you want to call them, order a specific item, and you get a stamp in the back of your book. Once you complete all those, you can go back up to the front and get usually some type of, celebratory freebie type of thing. So last year it was a lemon lime, Dole Whip basically, which wasn't too bad, but you got a really, really cool commemorative Garden Graze little plastic cup. And that was really nice and very cool and very different from all the other festivals. So knock on wood, but I'm hoping so.
All right,
go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna go down the road a little bit. We're gonna go to Universal. Personally, our only real bad news of the week, which is awesome. Blue Man Group, after 14 years and over 6,000 shows, is going to be ending its residency at Universal Studios Orlando. Not going to lie, kind of sad about that. I'm a Blue Man Group fan. I know not many people are. Talked to a few yesterday that are glad it's going. I, on the other hand, being from Boston and having it here right in the city with us, and I actually have a friend I went to high school with who's actually in the Blue Man Group in the Boston show. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully they put something really good in that area. I mean, it's going to be just wasted space if they don't. So, Josh,
I mean, I would imagine that they're probably going to end up filling that with something. I think it makes sense right now that they're not doing shows, so you know, it just is what it is. But yeah, we were actually just over at Universal the last couple of days. We did a little staycation at Cabana Bay. Fantastic. It was super relaxing. It was exceptionally cold. The one morning, I think it was like Thursday morning, I think it was in like 33 degrees that morning when we got up. So,
Josh, can I remind you that both myself and the Levines are up in Massachusetts where it snowed for 2 days straight here.
And
Okay.
it's currently like 15 degrees. So,
Yeah, so we don't want to hear your sob story that you have to wear a winter hat in the 40s.
all right. Hey, listen, I will say that it matched the rest of my outfit, which was my Gryffindor sweater for school. So, you know, it did work out in that sense. But hey, what can I say? You know, moving on away from Universal, one thing that isn't on there, but I did mention briefly for some other kind of Debbie Downer news here, is that Canada has now ceased all sailings up till February of 2022. There are some, like I think Carnival made an announcement today, and so did Norwegian. They're not officially canceling some of their Alaskan cruises. They're hoping to maybe try to sneak something in towards the end of the season. But if you don't know, pretty much the Alaskan season is our summer here in the States. So pretty much probably not going to see anything till 2022, which is, again, just to reiterate, our group cruise is why we moved it to 2022. So it's unfortunate, but hopefully with everything the way it's moving, we'll start to get some stuff back. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Right.
Yeah. So anybody else have anything to add? Going once, going twice. Let's move into this week's topic. I don't have an intro.
I've been waiting all week for this one.
Yes. So we have I don't know. I don't want to say like we're going to have real issues on this podcast, okay, with this list of 7 attractions. All right. But
it's a healthy debate.
Yeah.
a healthy debate for sure on attractions here at Walt Disney World. Now, again, obviously people have all different levels of I don't know. I don't know how to put it. You know, of excitement, of being able to handle certain things. So, obviously me, who's a thrill ride junkie, if Disney World had an attraction, okay, no lie. If Disney World had an attraction where you could take off in a plane over at MCO and then parachute down into Magic Kingdom or something like that, I would be all about that, right?
Should push that idea to them.
Yeah.
Should, right? That'd be great. They might be listening.
Walt Disney's playing.
Right? Like that would be my number one attraction. But, for somebody else, their number one attraction might be It's Small World. So we're not saying that anybody's wrong here and anything, but, it's a good discussion on if you haven't tried something yet, you should give it a try. So we want to let the Levines go first. We'll just start. Let's just go one at a time. We'll kind of talk about it, then we'll move on. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Couple things, Ryan, before we go into it. I did give them some guidelines. It's something that they've had to experience. So the list might look a little funky. It's just due to the fact that with COVID, they haven't been able to get down to Florida. So take that for what it's worth. Compared, like they haven't been there in a while. I was able to get down in December, so my list is a little bit different than what their list is.
Yeah, we haven't been to Galaxy's Edge. I'm sure our list would look very, very different had we been able to go to Galaxy's Edge already.
I'm not sure about very,
Well,
very.
Wow, it's an inner debate between a couple. Oh my
All right,
goodness.
so I think it's important. Like, we kind of came at this from, we love thrill rides too, but we also love like Disney history and nostalgia. So you might see some pretty nostalgic, classics on the list too. So
yeah, so getting right to it. At number 7 for us, we have 999 Happy Haunts in the Haunted Mansion. We really love this ride. It's a original Omni mover. Everything from I'm wearing the shirt right now, Madame Leota's. Everything from the interactive queue to the pre-show. Nikki, what's the phrase that you like the cast members to say?
oh my gosh, my very favorite is when they say, please drag your bodies away from the wall and into the dead center of the room. I don't know why, I just love that.
I don't know if I've ever heard them say drag your bodies. That's really good. Yeah, I don't know if I have ever heard them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The cast members there, you can tell they just love their job. They're so into their role. The story is awesome. It's just a great ride. It's super nostalgic for me too, because I've been going to Disney World since I was a little kid. And I remember going on that ride when I was little and being terrified. And, now I just love it. It's so fun. The song is awesome. It's so catchy. It's just really fun.
Yeah, the song is the best because whenever we're on hold as Disney travel agents, it's always the grim grinning ghosts. So it just always brings us back. So that might have something to do with us liking it so much as well. But for me, it's the graveyard scene. And then what's her name? The ghost, the lady. The one that kills all of her husbands. Yes, Constantine.
Yeah.
Constantine at the end when she's saying "hurry back," it's just so creepy, in the best way. Like, it's not like HHN creepy. It's like just hits you right in the feels.
Well, I mean, I will say that is something. That end part is something that I always look forward to hearing her say. Make sure to bring your death certificate. I mean, it's like. Yeah. It's perfect. In the scene, one of my favorite scenes is going through the attic just before you get pushed out the window. There's a lot of hidden kind of Easter eggs in there, some hidden Mickeys that you can find. It's a great attraction. Would it be number 7 for me? Probably not, but it is so phenomenal by all means. Matt?
Well, it didn't make my top 7. So, and I'm just going to give my quick top 7 because this was more about the Levines, and because I really wanted them to have fun with it because I know number 1 is going to be a fun, epic debate. I went with Toy Story Mania. I'm a real big fan of interacting. Being able to play some sort of game keeps me engaged, and you can't go wrong with that. Trying to beat the score of the hour, score of the day. Would never gonna happen for me. I'm not that good, but I can try.
Well, for that one, I wouldn't put that on my top 7 list though. And the only reason that I don't put that on my top 7 list is because I can't ever seem to beat Taylor on that game. Ever. So I don't like playing. Ever.
Let me ask this. Taylor's in the chat right now. Taylor, is that in your top 7?
I bet it probably is in her top 7. And we also might be on a slight delay going out to YouTube, so it might take her a second to answer if she is still listening.
Also, with Midway Mania, the potato head in the queue is incredible. Mm-hmm. It is.
Oh my, yeah.
An Imagineering miracle. Well, maybe not a miracle, but it's that
impressive.
Yeah, it's what makes Disney Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you've been to Disneyland, if you haven't been to Walt Disney World, they have something. I think it's almost the exact same Mr. Potato Head out there. It's actually on the outside of the attraction, so you can kind of walk by and see him, and you don't actually have to be in the queue line, which is really cool out there. But Taylor says not in her top 7. I do love TSM, so that's interesting. I would have thought she might put it in there. That's interesting. I will say if I did have a top, I think 7 for me would actually be Buzz Lightyear. That's an attraction that is Very iconic for me, and is very much that feeling of I'm in Disney World now. Is going to Magic Kingdom, even if the line is kind of long, especially the last couple of times that we've gone over there recently. It says it's like 45 minutes or something. Normally it takes us like 20 minutes to get on, so it's not a super long wait. I can also beat Taylor on that 99% of the time.
You guys both destroyed me in December.
Yes.
Bad.
And we don't ride together. Taylor and I don't ride together. We ride individually so that we can try to max out both of the guns. So
there you go.
But that would probably be my number 7.
We highly debated both of those. They both almost made our list, but
but Buzz is like so we're kind of creatures of habit when we go to the Magic Kingdom. Buzz, once we run out of our fast passes and we're ready to go to dinner, we can typically pick up a Buzz Lightyear fast pass for after the fireworks. So we'll leisurely go from the fireworks wherever we are to Buzz Lightyear, and typically, I think Nikki's only beat me once.
I'm terrible.
Once.
I'm horrible.
Yeah, and I unfortunately, I try, and I read all the guides, but I just can't get Galactic Hero. I think my best score is like 340,000 or something like that. I might have gotten 500,000 one time, but every single time I keep on trying.
We're both terrible. Which is probably we're bad. Why it didn't make our list.
It's a Massachusetts thing.
Yeah.
It must be.
Yeah,
could be that.
Oh, man.
But that's kind of a perfect segue to our number 6, because our number 6 is right next door in Tomorrowland. We love, and this is by no means a thrill ride, but we love the People Mover. I could sit on the People Mover all day long. It's just it's nostalgic for me. You can people watch on the People Mover. It's just so fun. I love it.
Yeah, we're a little quirky in that whenever Space Mountain shuts down, we rush to the People Mover as well, but it's typically our midday break for us. When all the other attractions have really long lines, we know that the People Mover will get us on in 5 minutes or less. And it's just that some of it is air conditioned. It's really enjoyable. We love the narration. It just brings back kind of that original Tomorrowland feel for us, and that connection to the futurism of Walt Disney, and everything that we really enjoy about Tomorrowland. I have a fear of heights, so I will not go on the Astro Orbiter. So this is kind of our light Tomorrowland thing and our midday thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll add, I don't think you're missing much by not going on Astro Orbiter. I mean, you get some good views, but you're spinning so quickly, it's hard to really take those in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in many people's top 7.
Of course.
Plus, Disneyland doesn't have it, so when you get into that argument of the Magic Kingdom versus Disneyland, you can always bring up the topic of they lost their People Mover for rocket rods, which are now defunct.
That's true. That's true, yeah. That's
and
true.
I think that Disneyland people are pretty bitter about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, with it being closed right now, I find myself more and more each time that we go back over there, always going in, hoping that it is running. We're doing some testing, I think like last week, 2 weeks ago or something like that, and they were having some more issues with it. So it's still not up yet. But I totally agree with everything that you guys said. I mean, it is iconic. It's nostalgic. It's such a great place to relax. And if you are at the Magic Kingdom and it's not really busy, the best thing sometimes is that if you ask, and they don't always do this, but if you ask, then they just leave you. Like if you ask, they'll just let you stay on.
Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't ever. I think maybe we've done that once where we've stayed on and gone again. But if it's not busy, there's literally nobody getting on. You might be able to just continuously ride that for like, I don't know, a while if you really wanted to. And it is super relaxing and a great attraction to be on if Space Mountain is down, because if they turn the lights on, it's a really, really cool thing to see if you've never seen it before.
The first time we went through and the lights were on, we both were like screaming, like little kids. Like, oh my gosh, the lights are on. We were so excited.
Yeah, we're nerds like that. We enjoy
but it is. Like, I think that's a justifiable thing though, to be like really excited to see that, because it's something so cool. I mean, Space Mountain's always dark. you really can't see much in there, and to go through there and see that it's super cool. So
Right.
Yeah, it's almost scarier with the lights on too.
yeah, it is.
See how close your head actually is.
You ready for my number 6?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I want to add something here real quick. Pam said, Adam wants to know if the parking lot shuttle is considered a ride. I mean, it could be. It could be for those out there who enjoy it.
There's some pretty entertaining cast members that operate.
There are.
Yeah, I mean, for people like us who fly into Disney, the monorail, the fake monorail at MCO is a ride. So
yes.
it's the first and the last ride.
That's everybody's first ride. Yep.
Very true. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm going over to Animal Kingdom. I'm going Kilimanjaro Safari
Oh.
at number 6. You never know what's going to happen on each ride. You can go 3 times in a row, and you might have 3 different experiences. That's my
Do
my
you-
love.
Do you have a preference for morning or afternoon?
I will go whenever, as many times as I can during the day.
Mm-hmm. I got beat out. I wanted that to be on my top 7, but I got beat out.
Yeah,
And-
I don't know what we replaced it with, but
And then especially now with Disney Plus having the show from the
Oh,
yeah,
National Geographic show with the Animal Kingdom, and being like kind of making some of the animals characters to an
Yeah.
extent, like trying to find them and be like, I saw them. I find that kind of cool now. December, I was on an extended ride due to the fact that the rhino didn't want to get out of the way, but that's something I have on video and I'm going to cherish, where someone might not have that experience.
Yeah, and the drivers make it different every time, and they are phenomenal. They are so knowledgeable about everything, and it increases how much you enjoy the ride when you have a really good bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that's a ride that I always tell Taylor. The first time that I came to Walt Disney World with her and her family, Animal Kingdom was the first park that we went to, and Kilimanjaro Safari was the first attraction that I ever did, and it was 100% the attraction that got me hooked, but also fooled me. I don't want to spoil magic for anybody out there, but the most iconic part for me is when you get ready to go into where all the elephants are, and they say if you look off to the right, you'll see all those tusk marks in the clay, and that's from the elephants, and they're like pushing their time, and like my first time, I legit thought that like, holy cow, those elephants are over there really doing that, like it was it was just a really great way to fall into the story that Disney really tries so hard to tell and does an exceptional job of it. So that's a great one. I think morning's always best. We did have a driver the one day who was like, mid-afternoon's like the best time. And anybody out there doesn't know, my background is wildlife biology. And I know that midday is like the worst time to ever see animals. So they're usually not out. They're trying to avoid the heat. So I would always recommend you see some animals, try to get there first thing in the morning, or do it closer in the evening to like when the park is getting ready to close, starting to cool off a little bit. I think those are the best times. But
yeah,
I would ride it all day long if I could.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Plus, the lions are really cool, and they have the air conditioned rock. Plus, they have they're nocturnal animals. So if you go in the evening, that's the one pro for me for going in the evening is maybe the lions will be up and talking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So moving on to our number 5 is if you're wearing hats and glasses, best remove them. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, all the way in Frontierland. We love this roller coaster. We love all the fun facts about it. We love the theming. The queue is pretty fun when you can hit all the plungers and listen to all the sound effects. And I laugh every time I'm on it just because it's so enjoyable. And the theming again is it's top notch. And then when you go over and you can see over the hill and you can see Cinderella Castle and everything. It adds that little bit of Disney magic.
And if you haven't ridden Big Thunder Mountain at nighttime, you are missing out.
Yes.
It is that's my favorite time to ride it. And I am not a front row person for coasters. Put me in the back. I literally feel like I'm going to fly out of that coaster. Even though it's not honestly going that fast, it feels much faster in the back. It's so fun.
Yeah, and I think that there's a Big Thunder Mountain in all the Disney parks around the world as well. So that's another cool little fun fact about it.
Yeah, the riding it at night, if you can time it just right with fireworks, obviously there's no fireworks going on right now, but when they come back, an exceptional ride to see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom from Big Thunder Mountain. So, great ride. I agree with you guys. I think I would probably put that in my top 7 for sure, along with Kilimanjaro Safari, man. I did want to add that. But Big Thunder Mountain for sure is fantastic. That's another ride that if we can get on it, it's not super long. We always try to get in there and do that. So
I originally had that in my top 7, and then probably 40 minutes before broadcast, I took it out. Sorry.
What made you decide to take it off? Anything in particular?
No, I don't want to say it on air. I took a phone call and got yelled at that something wasn't on, so something had to go.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't want to be in the doghouse, so I kind of just just listen sometimes. So we're gonna go to my number 5.
Yeah.
I'm hopping all the way back to Hollywood Studios again, sticking with the Toy Story theme, and I'm going with Slinky Dog Dash.
That's a good one.
I just love Toy Story, as you can tell.
That's another back row coaster too for us.
Yeah.
We really enjoy that. It was on our list. I think it got into the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But some other things.
Thing with that is I've only been on it once. I got lucky going on with Marianne and Melinda, Team Maslahoma. Once going on it once, it really hit me. It really enjoyed the roller coaster and made my top 7. Made almost the halfway point.
We've only been on it once too, and we got lucky enough to sit in the back row the first time we went on, and the only time we went on. Yeah. So,
but when you look at the ride, like again, nerding out a little bit, but the whole backyard theme of it with the giant grass and like all the dirt areas, and then I really enjoy Wheezy at the end. I think it's great. It's just like it's that little cherry on top that ends the ride perfectly.
You know, I'm not sure that Slinky Dog would have made my top 15. Ooh. It's a good coaster, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's good. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most about Slinky Dog for the longest time was coming up after that launch, the second launch, and coming up over the slope, and you get that awesome view of the construction of Galaxy's Edge. That was the only reason that I rode that attraction. Was so I could see the progress of. I mean, it's a good attraction. I think it's still more on the level of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train over at Magic Kingdom. It is a little bit bigger, obviously, with some bigger drops and a little bit more thrill for maybe the kids that are kind of like maybe moving out of Seven Dwarfs and they're just shy of rock and roller coaster. But it's a good one, but. Yeah, I don't know if I would have even put it in my top 15. There's so many other things that I really enjoy, especially at Hollywood Studios.
I think we need a Josh Rippey top 15 now because I'm really curious on what this list looks like.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about thrills on Slinky Dog Dash, I think that you get some natural airtime too, right? So it gives you take you out of that seat just a little bit.
Yeah, I think you do get a little bit, and a little bit throughout there, but. I don't know. Maybe I would go back on a little bit more nostalgia for some other attractions that would push. Yeah. It would just naturally just push that up a little bit further, because I would actually also still put People Mover in front of Slinky Dog. So
all right.
I mean, I really enjoy it.
Did you just?
Can you hear me?
That's what happens. That's what happens. That's what happens when you speak out of line, right there.
I battery out of my camera, so go ahead, take it on to the next one.
Yeah, so for number 4, we're hanging out with the Disco Yeti on Expedition Everest. Again, it's the whole experience for us, from getting into the queue to loading. Back row is best row, but when it fakes you out after that first lift hill, and you go down and you got that little G-force area, and then you go back up into the mountain, and it's awesome. And of course, Joe Rohde is probably our favorite Imagineer, so the Disco Yeti can do no wrong in whatever state it's in. And that drop once you come out of the mountain is
fun.
Yeah, it's just awesome when you come into the daylight and you're going down. We love it. We love the twists and turns, and it's just, again, we're laughing and smiling the entire time.
I even just love the first big climb up the hill where you can look out and see literally everything in Walt Disney World, like every park, like every attraction. It's just so fun. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, being able to see Spaceship Earth from that first lift hill is pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah.
And I think you can see Tower of Terror from there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, really all of Orlando, it's awesome.
Josh, here he is.
I'm back. Sorry, I missed your guys' conversation. I did have to step away, so
That's all right.
That's good.
We talked about how much we love Everest.
oh wow. What number are we on?
4.
Oh, 4. Holy cow. Boy, oh boy. Everest, definitely my top 7. I don't know if it would be 4. Oh, would it be in my top 7? Oh boy, that's a tough one. I love Everest. I think what would push it over the edge for me would be if the Yeti worked. Did we talk about that?
We talked about we love the Yeti in every state. Disco Yeti is fine with us.
Joe Rohde can do no wrong.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it is cool. I think that first year back in 2009, granted, this was a long time ago. I think it did actually work. I thought I remember seeing it actually move while we rode it. And then, I've never seen it since. So, I mean, it's great. You guys obviously sit in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely the best place to be, in my opinion. It's a great roller coaster. So, yeah, I would keep it in my top 7 for sure. Not at 4 though. I don't think. Hold on. Yeah, not at 4. Maybe 5.
Okay, so 5 through 7, we've got that gap. All right. So if you're doing the math at home, Josh has Everest somewhere between 5 and 7.
Well, I think we need this list. I think someone in the chat's looking for this list too.
I don't. Who'd be looking for my list? Nobody.
Your wife.
Of course she is. She's over there listening. I can hear her. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Let me think. I just want to think. What would I have for 4?
You seem like number 4 would be Dumbo, Josh. The way you're going right now.
Have I not been on? I've been on Dumbo more in like the last 12 months than I've been. Well, maybe more than that. Maybe like the last 18 months than I've been in like. I don't know, since I've been coming to Disney World. You know what I actually might put at number 4? And I don't think you guys have gotten to ride it yet, but is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
No, we haven't.
No. Super, super devastated when Great Movie Ride left. It had to go for a lot of reasons. Way out of date.
Right.
Needed to be updated. IP issues, of course, costing Disney a lot of money. And I was definitely like on the fence on like whether this was going to be good or not, but it is such a fun and fantastic for not only just kids and families, but I think for us adults. I really enjoy it. And when we can go back and jump on there and ride it, I always really, really look forward to it. It's different. It's interactive. So I think I might put that at 4. Maybe.
That made my honorable mention list.
Maybe.
Yeah, it has a great original song too. Nothing Can Stop Us Now is going to be in Disney parks for forever.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, I'm being questioned by my wife. MMRR is in your top, Josh? ? question mark. So I think she disagrees with my list. I mean, it's good. I don't know why, but it's popping into my mind right now. So I feel like, yeah, it would probably be on there. Maybe not number 4. Maybe between 5 and 7.
So
where does Everest fall in that?
It's got that trackless system that twists you around, right? So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. You never, and I think that it's also randomized, I believe. Not so much for the rooms, but you kind of don't know which way you're going.
Yeah,
you go back and forth.
It's randomized by the vehicles. So just because, if you're right behind Goofy whenever you start doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to go that same path. That cart is randomized along a set, number of routes. If there's 4 carts, there's I don't know how many different routes, but yeah, I mean it's a little bit different every time you ride it, which is also really nice. So
yeah,
cool.
Matt, what's your top 4?
My number 4. I think I'm going to get a little hate from this one.
Oh,
I got to represent Boston on this one. My boys in Aerosmith, the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
You got to represent Boston right there, the Boston Bad Boys.
I don't want to spoil the Levine's list here, but have you guys ever been to Hollywood Studios?
We have. You can see where our loyalties lie, though, from our list.
Yeah.
We don't have anything from Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. Again, when we went to Hollywood Studios, it was I don't know the best way to put this. Under construction.
Ryan has only been to Hollywood Studios once.
Yeah.
So that tells you something there. And I haven't been a whole lot, except for when I was a kid. I used to go on the backlot tour. Like, if the backlot tour was still there, that would be on my list for sure.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Okay.
That was a good one.
That was
honorable mention if it was still around.
But we do love Rock and Roller Coaster.
That's a great one. Now, where do you guys sit when you guys ride Rock and Roller Coaster?
In the back.
Yeah, in the back.
No, you should sit in the front. Yes.
Huh.
Rock and Roller Coaster.
You got the wind blowing in your hair.
Is the best from the front. Seriously, it is. And if you guys haven't done it, next time you go, I suggest you sit in the front and you're going to be like, wow, this is way better than the back. Because it's a launch coaster, and the way that the way that you go through some of that stuff, I think it's a little bit better than sitting in the back. And it's also not as rough. I think if anybody out there's listening and you're like, oh, I didn't like Rock and Roller Coaster because it's really rough. I think if you sit closer to the front, it's not as rough on your head and you're not like, bobbling back and forth.
Yeah, it's more of a traditional roller coaster that you might get at like a Six Flags. Because we have Six Flags New England up here and they have a big Superman roller coaster.
Love Superman.
Always sit in the front.
Love that Superman ride. Scared to death of it, but I love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
That first drop, this is wow.
I'm going to just throw this in here real quick. Somebody commented, unpopular opinion, but I think Rock and Roller Coaster should be refreshed. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think, I
agree to it to an extent too.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of rumors out there swirling about it, but I think it could use a facelift for sure. Yeah. Change it up.
Yeah.
So.
Not that Aerosmith is great,
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, but they might. It's not a forever thing.
For sure.
So top three. Moving on for us, we are going to hang out with Dame Judi Dench just for a little bit, and we are going to ride Spaceship Earth and take a time capsule through time and space on the grand and marvelous history of Spaceship Earth.
Mm-hmm. I love Spaceship Earth. It's another one that's nostalgic for me. It's also great on a hot day when you need to sit inside and cool down for a little bit. I love the story too, learning about how communication has grown through time and how it's evolved. Unpopular opinion maybe, but I was really sad when they announced last year that they were going to be refurbishing Spaceship Earth. So I'm a little happy that they've delayed that project because I don't know how I feel about the new theming and what they were planning to do with it. I do think it needs to be updated and refreshed. They need to, add more current stuff to Spaceship Earth, more current scenes. But I love the whole story. I love the interactive pieces too, where you get to kind of create your own future and the little video at the end. It's just so fun. I love it.
Yeah, and again, going back to the history, all of the original 80s animatronics are incredible. Just everything about it's just brings a smile to our face because we know that it's the heart of what Disney is for us. And really the company and that futuristic the theme that goes on with it.
It's like the best of edutainment too.
Yeah, edutainment. That's the name of the game. This is another one. I don't think that we kind of have these weird little rules where we won't wait more than 5 minutes in line for it. So we know that if we're back in World Showcase and that's kind of where everybody moves to, you know, when you get to the front of the park and it's the morning and everybody's rushing to Spaceship Earth, there's no reason to wait 30 minutes for that ride. You know, we'll come back a little bit later, take that nice little air-conditioned ride through time.
That's good. I don't know if I would.
For a nap.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh,
I'm gonna get a lot of hate on my Facebook on that one.
people are dying right now. That's
that's my
a
nap
tough
time.
I'd go. Well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say where I would go take a nap at, but honorable mention. I think for me, I would put honorable mention of Spaceship Earth on the list. Definitely wouldn't be in my top 7. Probably not in the top 15 either. But I agree with you guys. It's a great attraction. Definitely don't wait more than 30 minutes for it, just like you guys. I was just over there, I think earlier this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday or something like that. And I think it was about noon, and there was nobody in line for it. So I walked over and went right on and got on and rode through it. I tried to take some pictures because, like you guys said, you know, they had mentioned that it's being refurbished. So I was trying to, like, you know, try to grab some more memories of it before it eventually goes, which it's being held off for now, but it will eventually be refurbished. But I mean, it's a great attraction. Definitely is a great place to get in and unwind from the heat. So taking a nap, I mean, come on, man. Oh, I'm just kidding.
But the thing about it, Josh,
okay, listen, if you're gonna say what you're taking a nap in, I'll go if I'm in Epcot. All right, listen, you got to think about this logistically, okay? Think about this logistically. I'm not trying to make anybody upset. All right, you've been in Epcot. Let's say you get there when the park opens. You hit up the attractions up the front, right? Maybe you're doing Soarin', and then you got to, like, run across the walkway, and you got to hurry up and do Test Track. Then, I don't know, Mission Space. You get on Mission Space. Doesn't matter if you do orange or green. Then you're like, Spaceship Earth. You do Spaceship Earth. Then maybe you do Living with the Land. You've hit all the attractions, right? Now it's time to explore World Showcase. So who cares which way you start? Obviously, the right way to start is through Mexico.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you do it any other way, you're wrong. But hey, that's okay. Everybody's different. All right. It's a long walk around there. So ideally, and it just makes sense that halfway through your walk, you should take a nap. So you just go right into the American Adventure Pavilion. You sit down during the show.
That's where
and you take a nap. There you go. All right.
Sometimes I take my nap after I go around the World Showcase. If you get what I'm saying, then you just need that extra couple minutes to kind of regroup.
But you know what? The chairs are more comfortable than they are in Spaceship Earth.
That suit, yeah, true. You're right.
You know, I'm just saying.
That's why you're the expert of this.
Epcot Resorts. Just walk straight out of International Gateway, take a nap, come back.
Or, I mean, yeah, you could do that too.
Right.
That's a little past the halfway point, though.
Yeah.
What am I at my number 3 now?
Yeah.
I'm going to be quick with this one because we already talked about it. Everest. Bam. Plain and simple. Number 3.
Oh, interesting. I will throw mine in because I do have a number 3 for sure. It would be Space Mountain. Another iconic attraction for me if I'm at Walt Disney World, if I'm in Magic Kingdom, Space Mountain and Buzz. I always, if I'm going to do Space Mountain, I'm doing Buzz right after that. If I go do Buzz and I haven't done Space yet, I'm always going over to see what the wait time is. Oh man, I love Space Mountain. I think my favorite rendition of that, or I don't know, overlay, would be Halloween when it's completely pitch black in there.
You like that more than Christmas? Christmas with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra playing in the red and green colors.
That would be my second, and then like original maybe would be my third. But I mean, still, it'd be third on my list. It's a phenomenal coaster. It doesn't matter how many times I've ridden that thing. I'm always still surprised by some of the drops every time I ride it, and I think that's what always pushes it towards the top of my list for attractions. So,
well, you don't know which one you're on either, because you're either on Alpha or Omega too. So those are two different tracks. So it's not different every time, but you don't necessarily know which one you're on. And you know, in my opinion, it is the absolute scariest ride at Walt Disney World.
I literally ride like this. Like, I know I'm not going to hit my head, but I duck the entire time.
I will say that is one attraction that I am genuinely slightly afraid to sit on the front row, like sit in the front seat. Because I always prefer to have somebody in front of me, because then I know if their hands are up, my hands are fine.
Yeah.
Because their hands are coming first. Not that like if we have, I could have magically pulled them back, you know, like I know that's not how it works, but that is one attraction that I am like sometimes afraid to sit in the front when I have to. But cool. Marianne says Space Mountain is a definite must. Halloween is better than Christmas, Matt.
Marianne just got a text message from me saying no.
I also have to say, Marianne, thank you for the refurbishment. Well, I'm on attractions. Thank you for the restocking of gummy bears. I am enjoying some tonight, so I appreciate that.
All right.
Oh, then I dropped one.
We're in what top? It's all right.
So, moving on to number 2 for us.
Top 2.
We are hanging out in the Mayora Valley at Avatar Flight of Passage. I got off this ride the first time that I rode it, and I felt like I had a tear in my eye. It's just an incredible ride between the smell. We bought some diffuser oil, so we'll say we're going to Pandora tonight, and we put it in our diffuser, and we go to Pandora. Nice. The experience of feeling the Banshee right under you is absolutely incredible.
Well, that's the thing. It feels more like an experience than a ride, because it hits every single sense. That you get the smell, you get the feel. It's just awesome. It's such. I did cry the first time we rode it. I got off. I'm an emotional person, but I got off and I was crying. And we actually were in line with somebody who had ridden it before, and she was telling us, she was like, "Wait a minute, you are gonna cry," and I sure did. I loved every single minute of that ride.
Yeah. And again, the queue in this is pretty awesome. When you're going to the lab and seeing the Avatar, it's really. An immersive experience. I mean, the entire shout out to Satuli Canteen while we're talking about Pandora. We made copycat Satuli Canteen bowls, and it just wasn't the same for us. But going on Flight of Passage and then going to lunch is kind of our thing when we get into Animal Kingdom. So they go hand in hand for us. But it's from what we were hearing prior to Rise of the Resistance, it was the most immersive thing at Walt Disney World.
I would say that's a fair statement.
Yeah, very correct.
Matt, second. What's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Okay. Yeah. So I think again, everybody's lists are different. I would totally agree with this. Flight of Passage. It is. Sometimes I have a little bit of a conflict internally on whether or not it's top attraction for me, but it is. Oh man, you guys are right. I mean, it's super immersive, and if there's like one thing that I could take away from everything that's been happening right now, is that the only time that we would ride this attraction beforehand would be with a fast pass. We did not normally rope drop this. We would normally rope drop Expedition Everest or something like that. I don't know why, but that's usually what we did. So we always miss all of the really cool immersive things in that queue line that really, take you deeper into the story. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, it all makes more sense. But with the pandemic and COVID, there's no fast pass line. So almost all the time you have to go through the standby line That's just the way that they take you. And to be able to go through there and see just how much detail that they put into that thing is just remarkable. And it's so great. And I tell everybody this, but my favorite part of this entire attraction is, and it doesn't matter where you're seated at, whether you're on the top floor, bottom floor, middle, left, right, is when you kind of dive down and you start to make that turn like you're going to go underneath that wave.
Yeah.
Every single time I always do it. I always end up leaning away because I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, and then you get the water splash on your face.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh man!
I'm
Every
going to assume
time.
you're probably not the only one that's ever done that, but it's
Right. But I mean, but that's why I really enjoy it too. I mean, it's just those little things. And then of course, like, you guys were saying the scents, just amazing. Really, really immersive. Puts you, front and center into that world. So on that other planet.
Yeah.
But super cool.
number one. Oh, here we
So
go.
I think I know what Matt and I are gonna say, obviously, but
Yeah.
Josh, would you like me to do my number one first so this can get really like
yeah, sure.
So my number one is obvious. It's Rise of the Resistance. No questions asked. It's the greatest thing out there in the world right now. Bam, done.
All right.
And well, everybody, that is the podcast tonight. Thank you all for showing up. No, I'm
Hold
kidding.
on.
Wait.
I'm kidding.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Go ahead. Number one for you guys.
Yeah, so our number one, we are going out to hang out with Brer Rabbit at Splash Mountain. For us, this is a combination of nostalgia, excitement, and just our overall happiness when we listen to the soundtrack and we know all the words, and it's incredible.
It's a little thrilling.
Yeah,
It's nice and refreshing on a hot day.
Oh,
the takeouts that it gives you. You
No.
never, like, if it's your first time, you never know when you're going down that giant drop. You think it's that first lift. We'll get to the topic, but we are Splash Mountain is our number one. It's always our number one. Give us a list. It's going to be Splash Mountain number one. The mountains forever. But we're pretty excited for the refurb, or the retheming of it. But we're gonna take in Splash Mountain as it is while we can.
Not
well,
in my
you
top
do
10.
have somebody who agrees with you. Somebody,
Woohoo!
Hannah, I think maybe says, Splash is number one for me too. Plus, it's a really long attraction.
That's the thing is you get like the best. It's so long. It's got a couple drops. The best drop is the second one, hands down. When you go down into the dark, it's such a fun ride.
And another comment that I just threw up is soggy bottom. If you
That's
guys
why
have
you
ever
won't
heard me
go on.
talk about this before, this is exactly why I don't ride this attraction. It's a great attraction. Don't get me wrong. Really immersive as far as kind of putting you into the story, but I don't like walking around the park with wet shorts on for most of the day.
No, you dry out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, for us New Englanders, when we don't get down there that often,
Wait, hold on. What time of the year do you guys mostly come, or have you come?
Usually in the spring or the fall.
Yeah.
Not in the
Okay.
winter.
Okay, so winter would be better. If it's a nicer warm day and it's dry outside, you would dry faster.
Mhm.
But in the summertime, it's the worst thing to ride because it's super, super humid and you're already like a little sticky. And then you just have that like Splash Mountain water on you. Oh, no, I can't do it.
That
So Josh, was the last time you rode it was that December with me?
I think it probably was. I think that was probably the last time that I rode it.
Brings a tear to my eye that
I
physically forced you on that ride.
Listen, I do not ride this, for my own enjoyment. I usually only do it if there are friends with us and it's something that they really want to do. And I give them just like a once. It's like, so like next time Matt comes down and we hang
I
out,
don't
it's
have
like,
it.
sorry, man, I rode it once already with you. I'm not going to ride again. Now,
So
I
what
will
you're
say
saying is when we come down, you would ride it with us, though.
wait, what day you guys come? I might be busy that day. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course.
what are you going to be at Epcot that day instead?
Couldn't get a park
I'll be at
reservation.
Hollywood
Shucks.
Studios. Have you ever heard of that one? I'll be at Hollywood Studios. No, No, I mean definitely. If you guys came down, I would certainly ride it. But it's super long, which does make it a great attraction for that. But that's the only reason. I mean, that's really the only reason why I don't ever put it on a list, because I hate having wet, soggy underwear and shorts. So,
Yeah.
That's just one man's opinion. One man's opinion.
Understandable.
Very understandable. But again, it's just adding on the immersion from the queue all the way through when you get back to the loading station. It's all one story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And and like you guys mentioned, the refurbishment or the retheming of it, I think will be really cool. I'm interested to see that. I'll definitely obviously ride it whenever it comes back out. Hopefully they get rid of the water cannon so I don't get super wet. But
water cannons were off when we went. We got lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dead set that they're going to do this. Is they're going to put the Shadow Man onto that the big lift hill, and instead of the vultures, it's going to have the little talisman guys, and it's just going to be, are you ready? Going all the way up, and then you drop back into the light. And I am dead set, like
it'll be good.
Engineering to do it.
It'll be good. It's going to be great. It will be. It'll be something different and pretty new, and I think definitely the addition of the Shadow Man will be awesome. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
To ride it once and then,
once with all his friends. Once with only all his friends.
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with Matt on my number one, which is Rise of the Resistance. And I know, wait, hold on. Did I hear you guys say that, like, no matter what, it was always going to be number one in your list if you guys had a list?
Yeah.
Josh, you can kick him off the show now.
Right, because when you guys come down and you guys ride Rise of the Resistance, it's going to bump Splash Mountain to number 2.
It might bump Flight of Passage up to number 3.
It will bump Splash Mountain to number 2. This is the most immersive attraction that you've ever been on. It puts you into just such an incredible story. I'm telling you, listen. You don't have to say it right now, but when you guys come back down, I'll be waiting for you to say, you know what? You were right. You were right.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to ride Rise of the Resistance. And I'm sure it's going to change my opinion. I don't know if it'll totally bump Splash Mountain, but I'm sure I'm going to love it. So I'm really excited.
Well, I mean, I would be interested to see what the chat has to say about what their, number one attraction is when they come to the parks. Doesn't necessarily have to be all 7, but because again, it is different for everybody. I mean, if you're a thrill ride person, obviously some of the attractions that we talked about might not even be on your list at all. If you're somebody who doesn't like roller coasters at all, then obviously a lot of the stuff that we talked about won't be on your list. It might be Dumbo and Magic Carpets with Aladdin and just Spaceship Earth and maybe Living with the Land. I mean, I love Living with the Land. I could some days maybe put it in my top 7.
Yeah.
All depends on how I'm feeling.
It was a big debate for us, Living with the Land.
Yeah, it really depends on what plants are out and what time of year you go as well.
That's also true.
That gets the feel of the ride. And if there's if you're in Diet Epcot or if you're in a festival, then you can see the food that you're eating.
Yes, that is also true. So, So, wow, great. I thought this was really great. Awesome.
Went a lot better than I expected it to when I saw the Levine's list midweek. Went into a little panic,
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at it before the show, I was like, oh man, there's nothing on there from Hollywood Studios. But I mean, that does make sense. You guys haven't really been there all that often. But I mean, again, I don't know. I definitely would have maybe put Tower of Terror on my number 7 too. That's such a fun ride for me. What's that?
That was a big debate for us too.
Yeah.
Tower of Terror. Mm-hmm.
And then, as you can see, one of the chats, Josh, like if we're talking this a year from now, Tron's going to bump everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, Marianne. I don't know if Tron will bump everything.
Because I think Marianne's actually been on Tron.
That is true. She has.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, Guardians is.
That's another one.
There's so many things. who knows with Ratatouille? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
There's just so much out there that's
I don't
these
want to
lists.
spoil that
In,
for everybody.
these lists in 4 months could be totally different.
Yes, they could. They could very much so. So, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Anybody else have anything to add before we close down the show tonight?
Like and
No,
share.
just thank you for
No,
having
thank you
us.
for having us.
It's awesome to be here and be able to share our love for Disney. So thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thanks for coming on and having a pretty decent list. I'm kidding. It was a great list. It was a great list. So thank you to everybody out there who has been watching, commenting. If you haven't subscribed to the Go Getaways podcast yet, please give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up on our video. And if you're looking to start planning your next Disney vacation, we have a bunch of agents who can help you. Any of these agents here on the chat, or not on the chat, on the podcast today can help you as well. Because let's be honest, sometimes planning a Disney vacation can be exceptionally stressful, and that's where we come in to help. So, man, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to add. Matt,
We're back next Friday.
I think so.
Josh, we're a little bit out of our element on this, and we're going to bring on an agent. We're going to talk about couples vacations leading up into Valentine's Day. Yep, a little bit out of our element, the guy's element. So we're going to bring in an expert on this one and see what happens. Not necessarily Disney, but around the world. See what happens. Should be fun.
Sorry if you guys can hear
That's Ellie.
a dog barking in the background. It's Jazzy. I'm not sure why she's growling all of a sudden. There's nothing happening around us. So
I know why she's growling. She doesn't like Levine's list.
oh, that could be it. That could be it.
Fair.
All right. Well, yeah. Matt, I'm going to let you take away the ending.
Hold on a sec. I got to pull it up because I just too many things going on here. So thank you for joining us again this week, and make sure to subscribe to the videos. And now we're off to plan your next vacation.
See everybody. Jazzy says goodbye too.